Good morning, dear students. Let us begin our science class. Today, we are going to learn about controllable changes and uncontrollable changes, which comes under the chapter Changes in the World Around Us. Now, some changes can be hastened, means quickened, slowed down, or prevented. So, we can change the speed of the changes. These changes are called controllable, means the changes which can be increased, slowed down or prevented. Such changes are called controllable changes. For example, rusting of iron can either be slowed down or prevented. How? We know by painting the iron object or by greasing it, putting oil on it, so that the rusting process totally either stopped or slowed down. The purpose is to ensure that no unnecessary changes are made. So, that is controllable change. There are certain changes which cannot be controlled. They are beyond our control. These changes are called uncontrollable changes. For example, there is no control over the change of day, phases of moon. Then we have changes of seasons, movement of plants and earthquakes. All these are not under our control, so they are uncontrollable changes. Now let us learn about changes involve interaction. Means when changes are taking place, the things which are changed, they either take energy or give out energy, or with the help of some other object they brought about the changes. The other object which is enhancing the change or causing the change also gets some alteration. Now let us learn about those things. Changes involve interaction. Almost all changes around us involve interaction between two or more materials. Interaction between two objects influence each other. For example, water absorbs heat energy to convert into steam and releases heat energy to convert into ice. So now we know that heat is taken in and given out in the processes of boiling the water or evaporating the water or changing it into ice. Some changes take place by releasing heat energy and some changes takes place by absorbing energy. For example, water absorbs heat energy to convert into steam and releases heat energy to convert into ice. So this is exchange of energy taking place. Example, woodcutter splits the wood with the help of axe. Upon hitting the wood with axe, the wood gets splitted. Interaction between two objects influence each other. Here, wood and the axe, they are interacting with each other and then the wood is getting splitted into pieces. On heating, solids will expand. We know this is the property of solid, that when they are heated, they expand. Due to this reason, generally we put two glass tumblers that fixed tightly to each other in hot water. After some time, the tumblers are separated very easily as the lower tumbler gets expanded. Now what we are doing, the two glass tumblers, those who are stuck together, what is being done? The lower one along with the upper one kept into hot water so that the glass tumbler expands, and when it will expand, the other glass tumbler can easily be separated. On cooling, solids contract. This is another property of solids, that on cooling they contract. Due to this reason, we put ice cubes in one of the two glass tumblers that fixed tightly to each other. After some time, the tumblers are separated very easily as the tumbler with ice cubes will contact. So now the tumblers are taken. You can see here, ice cube is kept here and it is left for some time. So what will happen? This tumbler will contract and then the two can be separated easily. So this is how things are done. So here change is taking place with the help of changing the other thing also. Some changes are repeated themselves after specific amount of time. These changes are called periodic changes. Change of season is a periodic change. This happens due to the revolution of earth around the sun. So change of season is brought by the revolution of earth around the sun. And what is the resultant? Change of season. So both are dependent on each other. All changes involve exchange of energy. Energy is either absorbed or liberated out. As we have seen, ice cubes in a solid state changes to water, that is a liquid state, by exchange of energy. Now we have understood that this ice cube gives off energy and gets changes into water. Interaction of two or more substances is necessary for change. Unless until two or more substances they interact with each other, the changes is not possible. So interaction is very important. This results in some variation in the properties of substances which interact with each other. I told you na, both are getting affected by the changes because of the interaction. For example, in sharpening a pencil with a blade, both the pencil and blade undergo changes. What happens? The pencil gets sharpened. Okay, a blunt end is sharpened. But at the same time, what happens to the knife? Knife is getting blunt. The changes in the pencil can be seen immediately, and the change in the blade can be seen only after repeated use when it becomes blunt. So after repeated use, what will happen? The edge of the knife will get blunted. So the changes are taking place. This is the immediate result and this is a slow change. But changes are taking place in both of the objects because of the interaction. So this is what changes involve interaction. Now let us take another example. In the process of shaving, there is an interaction between the blade and facial hair. See here, the blade is cutting down the hair, and what happens? Both the things are changing. Blade cuts the hair and makes the face smooth. The hair on the hand makes the blade blunt. So both are being affected with the interaction with each other. When a change takes place, there may be change in the shape, size, state or position of the materials. The interacting materials themselves may undergo a change. As I told you, the blade get blunted, even the razor get blunted after repeated use. Almost all changes around us involves interaction between two or more materials. Interaction between two objects influence each other, they are affecting each other, and the changes are brought to both of them. Thank you children. This is all about changes involve interaction and controllable and uncontrollable changes.